the next game we can go ahead and knock out all NFC. Rams versus Eagles. I'll start by saying that for everybody that was on my head about Jalen Hurts, I apologize for absolutely nothing. I meant every word I said about that man. This Saquon Barkley had a day. This game doesn't even really involve Jalen Hurts at all. Saquon Barkley had a phenomenal day. I'm very happy for him, for a guy that I thought had, all world potential, that we never quite seen it, materialize in New York, because whether the team was terrible and whether he was hurt, it was great to be able to see him have one of those signature playoff performances like that game. It is poetic how it played out. The amount, like the snow falling down, what I'm saying, frozen tundra type of vibes, and your running game being what elevates you up to the top. And they ran for 285 yards against a solid Rams defense. It was great to see him get to have that moment. He deserved to have that moment. Philadelphia is a team that I think is better than mostly any and everybody in the league. So I mean, they played a solid game. Jalen Hurts took one too many sacks. Not an overall great performance. I mean, I thought he was solid. There were some drops there by AJ Brown and then the receiving end that hurt his total yards. But overall, this game was mostly about Saquon Barkley being a dominant, being a dominant running back, and honestly should be very much considered to be the MVP of the league with how he's playing this year.
Yeah, exactly. I think I said in the group chat, this should be a Saquon Barkley legacy game here. I don't see how Jalen Hurts will be able to throw in the snow. Maybe if anything, he's gonna run more in the snow. Um, I figured it'd be a down game for AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. And honestly, you got to give kudos to Matthew Stafford, man. Matthew Stafford, he's still a competitor. He's still one of the most underrated QBs, man. I Even when he was at Detroit, I didn't take it serious. I ain't understood it. I was like, 'cause maybe we didn't watch Detroit football then when he was over, when he was the quarterback of the Lions. But bro, Matthew Stafford is very underrated, and he still got it. And honestly, now if that game was played in L.A., Rams would have won. I hate to say it. I think the Rams would have won, bro. That's just my opinion here. The Rams had a chance to win, but shout out to Philly and they dominate O line, man. And that's why we preach the trenches here on Jim Dropper Sports. When you see that game, you see that offensive performance. That is why we preach the trenches. That's why you must believe in the trenches. Okay, so I had to put that out there. But yeah, shout out to Saquon Barkley, man. Cashed on my prize picks with him, so his over was definitely free. So shout out.
No, absolutely, man. And this is a game that this is the one that I noticed in all these playoff games. The good teams, you better not make mistakes against them. You better not give them extra possessions. You better not have sudden change of possessions. These teams take advantage of that. And when you're the Rams and you turn the ball over a couple times, you have mishaps on offense. Overall, I thought Matthew Stafford in that group, they still competed all the way through, and they gave themselves a chance there at the end. But overall, they don't have the team that's quite built for these types of games. Like Kyron Williams played well, but even Kyron Williams had a critical fumble in that game that hurt their chances. So you look at Philly. Philly's been a team that's been here. The team that you're seeing back at the top of the mountain. Oh, these are the teams that have been battle tested throughout the years, and they have plenty of players that have been in these games and situations, and they know how to win championship level games, and they know how to play championship level football. And that's the same to be said about Philadelphia. I mean, I talk as much as I talk about Jalen Hurts, but the one attribute Jalen Hurts has is that he doesn't turn the football over. So even when he's not playing well, what he does know is that he has an offensive line he can lean on and a running game he can lean on. If I don't turn the ball over and I don't give the other team extra possessions, we're gonna figure out a way to go score points. And if that's how you have to win games, hell, so be it. Because at the end of the day, no matter what I say, the name of the game that we play here is about winning. So that's all that truly matters. Nobody ever remembers who threw for how many yards if you lost. Jalen Hurts had a great performance in the Super Bowl a couple years ago where he had a phenomenal passing day. He lost the game. Nobody would care about how many yards he threw for had they just won. So at the end of the day, That's what matters most, and that's what that Philly team know. That's what they know how to do. They know how to win football games, and they're going to be a tough out for Washington. As much as we love the underdog story, it's gonna be a battle for sure. But moving on to the AFC side.